Welcome to Battlesphere, the ultimate arena for legendary showdowns. Here, mythological titans, Marvel icons, DC legends, and epic warriors from diverse civilizations clash in electrifying battles. Join me as we explore the realms of possibility, comparing strengths, skills, and strategies in hypothetical matchups that will leave you on the edge of your seat. So buckle up and let's dive into this thrill of epic confrontations.
In the realm of Earth, deep within the Himalayas, the Crimson Gem of Cyttorak shimmered in a long-forgotten shrine. It pulsed as if responding to a distant calling, one not of this world. On Eternia, meanwhile, magic rippled chaotically, as if something old and powerful stirred beneath the veil of existence. Something was coming, or someone. Meanwhile, Cain Marko, known as the Juggernaut, had been searching for a way to increase his power. Despite his legendary strength, he remained a pawn of higher forces, always manipulated, never free. Until Skeletor found him. Using ancient scrolls stolen from the vaults of Grayskull, Skeletor discovered a dimensional bridge, a magical portal capable of reaching across worlds. With twisted words and forbidden spells, he offered Cain Marko a deal. Greater power than he'd ever imagined, the chance to become more than Cyttorak's avatar. Desperate, angry, and still seeking revenge on Charles Xavier and others who had humiliated him, Cain agreed. In an explosion of dimensional fire, he crossed into Eternia, bringing with him a storm unlike any other. The sky over Castle Grayskull turned blood red. The sorceress felt the shift in the winds, the disturbance in the balance. "A new threat comes," she whispered, her voice trembling. In the Valley of the Ancients, the ground cracked open. From the fissure emerged Juggernaut, infused with additional magical energy from Skeletor's spells. His muscles rippled with rage and unstable sorcery, and his armor now bore demonic glyphs forged in the dark caverns beneath Snake Mountain. He roared, a thunderous cry that shook the land. Villages nearby were the first to suffer. He marched through them with indifference, seeking Castle Grayskull. Trees burned in his wake. Walls crumbled. And through it all, he muttered, "Power. I want more." Adam, the Prince of Eternia, stood at the edge of the evergreen forest with Cringer by his side. He had just returned from a diplomatic mission in Avion when the tremors reached him. "That doesn't feel natural," Cringer whimpered. Adam nodded, already raising his sword. "By the power of Grayskull. I have the power." He-Man emerged in a flash of light, leaping onto Battle Cat. With each gallop, the tremors grew louder. By the time they reached the ruined village of Garum, the smoke had blotted out the sun. Survivors spoke of a red demon, a monster too strong for any weapon. He-Man knew they faced something ancient, something not of this world. He-Man found Juggernaut at the base of Mount Karak. The brute stood, arms folded, waiting as if expecting him. Their first clash shook the mountains. Juggernaut slammed his fists together, causing shockwaves. He-Man blocked with his sword, but was pushed back. "Who are you?" he asked. "I am the Juggernaut," Cain Marko bellowed. "And I will tear this world apart." He-Man responded with a devastating uppercut, sending Juggernaut crashing into a cliff face. But within seconds, the villain rose, laughing. "You think that's enough?" Nothing stops the Juggernaut. Their battle raged for hours, neither gaining the upper hand. Finally, the sorceress intervened, sending magical blasts to separate them. "You can't stop him with brute strength," she told He-Man. "His power is growing." Skeletor has bound Eternian magic to his body. Back at Snake Mountain, Skeletor cackled. "Let He-Man struggle. Let him burn his strength. When he is weak, I shall take Grayskull for myself." But even Skeletor did not anticipate how much power Juggernaut would absorb. The Crimson Gem's interaction with Eternia's ley lines created feedback loops, altering Juggernaut's physiology. Cain Marko began to mutate, his body growing beyond even his enhanced size. The sky over Eternia dimmed. Wildlife fled. Magic itself began to warp. The elders of Eternia called for a council. Zodak, guardian of cosmic balance, arrived from the stars. "You toy with forces beyond control," he warned. He-Man pleaded with the council. "We must stop him, not just to save Eternia, but before he ruptures the boundary between worlds." But the elders feared acting too soon. Only the sorceress and Teela agreed with He-Man. Privately, the Sorceress revealed the truth. The Crimson Gem is merging with the heart of Eternia. If Juggernaut reaches the core temple, all reality may collapse. Juggernaut had begun moving east toward the core temple, destroying everything in his path. He-Man, Teela, Man-at-Arms, and Battle-Cat raced to intercept him. They met in the ruins of an ancient watchtower. Another battle erupted, this time even more brutal. Juggernaut tore down half the tower in a single punch. Teela was nearly crushed. Man-at-Arms fired energy blasts that barely slowed him. He-Man finally managed to drive Juggernaut into a pit using combined strikes and clever use of terrain. But even as Juggernaut fell, he laughed. "You can't stop what's coming. I will be a god." He-Man looked to the sky, where a swirling portal had begun to form. The mutated form of Juggernaut rose with a scream that shattered mountain peaks. The Crimson Gem, once embedded in his chest, now pulsed like a dying star, leaking chaotic magic into his body. The force of his transformation had altered the very landscape. Mountains crumbled, rivers reversed, and wild magical currents now surged through the skies of Eternia. "You think you can break me?" Juggernaut roared, his voice a haunting mixture of rage and agony, reverberating through the realm. "I am the fury of Cyttorak and more." He charged again, but this time, his movements were erratic, stronger, more destructive, but lacking control. Each punch cracked the sky, and every step caused tremors that sent animals and people fleeing for shelter. He-Man dodged, using all his agility, but even he was beginning to feel the weight of fatigue. The Sorceress appeared in He-Man's mind. "The gem's energy is destabilizing him. He's not just a threat to you, He-Man. He is a threat to reality itself. If the gem shatters from within his body, Eternia may fall into a rift of chaos and destruction." He-Man narrowed his eyes, panting from the continued battle. He had fought monsters, warlords, and gods. But this was different. Juggernaut wasn't just a brute. He was a vessel of a broken magical power. "I can't destroy him," He-Man whispered. "I have to save him." He-Man shouted toward Juggernaut, attempting to reach whatever humanity remained inside. "Cain, Marko, you're more than this monster Skeletor made you into. Fight it." But the Juggernaut only responded with a guttural roar and hurled a boulder the size of a house at him. He-Man sliced it mid-air with his sword, but the force pushed him backward. Realizing he needed help, He-Man activated the Orb of Alliance, a beacon that summoned Eternia's defenders. Within moments, Teela, Man-at-Arms, Stratos, and others arrived. "What is that thing?" Teela gasped. "Not what? Who?" He-Man replied. "And we're not trying to kill him. We're trying to contain him." They divided roles. Roboto would attempt to stabilize the gem with sonic pulses. Stratos would divert wind currents to limit Juggernaut's rampage. Ram-Man would distract him with brute force. Teela coordinated tactics while He-Man focused on keeping the monster from reaching populated zones. The battle raged. Roboto's frequencies created ripples in Juggernaut's aura. For a moment, Cain Marko paused. "Where am I?" he murmured. But then Skeletor arrived. Hovering on a chariot of dark flame, Skeletor fired a bolt of havoc energy into Juggernaut's chest. "Do not hesitate," he shrieked. "Obliterate them." The gem surged, its magic blinding. Juggernaut roared, this time not in rage, but pain. His form distorted. The earth cracked. A magical vortex swirled above. "He's going to implode," Man-at-Arms warned. The Sorceress appeared physically now, casting shields to slow the vortex. "We must channel this into the mirror of Xarn," she cried. "Only it can contain this madness." Zodak appeared, opening a cosmic rift that summoned the mirror from a distant vault. He-Man nodded. "Hold him. Give her time." Stratos unleashed hurricanes to destabilize Juggernaut's stance. Ram-Man struck with relentless charges. Roboto amplified his frequency to maximum. He-Man fought with everything he had. Sword blazing, muscle straining, he hurled magic-infused strikes while reciting ancient incantations of Grayskull. "By my will and the honor of Eternia, be still." He plunged the sword of power into the earth. A radiant dome expanded, drawing the chaotic magic out of Juggernaut and into the mirror. Skeletor tried to flee, but Zodak cast a cosmic chain, dragging him into the void plane. With a final scream, Juggernaut collapsed. The gem cracked, its pieces drawn into the mirror. now sealed by Sorceress enchantments. Cain Marko lay still, breathing heavily. Human again. He-Man carried Cain to Grayskull. Over weeks, the Sorceress used sacred spells to stabilize his life force. "Why did you save me?" Cain asked. He-Man answered gently, "Because no one is beyond redemption." Cain stayed in Eternia, quietly rebuilding villages, fighting off danger, and learning the ways of honor. Though guilt lingered, hope grew. In the void plain, Skeletor floated, whispering to a sliver of the Crimson Gem. "This is not over. He-Man may have won the battle, but the war has just begun." And far beneath Eternia, in hidden caves, something began to awaken.